This class is called Modern Fantasy, and fantasy goes all the way back to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance and even earlier. But this is modern fantasy where we are looking at 19th and 20th century texts, and we're looking into the pop culture of the 21st century. And we're going to ask questions such as, why does fantasy persist into modernity? And what is the fantasy genre or type of literature? We're going to be looking at weird texts and even film. And we're going to look at questions such as, we'll look at the nature of belief, because some people still believe in trolls and elves and dragons and things in the fantasy genre. We're going to look at the idea of quests and why we need quests. We're going to look at unknown and strange lands and why that's a part of fantasy. We're also going to look at different creatures who defy the categories of being and why they become characters in fantasy literature. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of exploration of different worlds and different ideas. Okay, the structure of the class is going to be where we read texts and we watch films interspersed throughout each other. We'll watch some films and read some texts, one to the other. We won't be reading all books and then watching all films, but we'll read some books, watch a film, read some books, watch a film, etc. And we're going to have a lot of discussion in the class. It's going to be a discussion-based class because I want to hear your ideas. I don't want you to only hear my ideas. So it's not going to be a lecture class. It's going to be a discussion-based class. And we are going to have a few papers that we are going to write for the class. So you'll be teaching me more about your ideas of fantasy. We are probably going to have a couple tests, but they are not going to be the regular test format. They're going to be writing tests where you write down your ideas and responses to the literary texts. And so that's going to be the structure of the class. I want students to take away from this class a passion for reading. There is so much fantasy literature out there to read, and we're not going to get to a fraction of it because there's so much out there. But not only fantasy reading, but reading in general. Reading is such a wonderful experience, and I think we should read all throughout our lifetime whenever we get the chance. So I hope that you develop a passion for reading from this course.